And welcome back to Wake Up America. I'm Rob Schmidt. Happy Wednesday to you. We've got a lot left in this home stretch of the show, including a special Veterans Day announcement. But now let's stop and take a closer look at foreign policy here for just a second. We want to welcome in the author of the book, The Choice, Trump versus Obama-Biden in U.S. Foreign Policy, Dr. Walid Phares. Sir, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Good morning to you. The president, of course, has had a lot of success in foreign policy. He got little to no credit on it from the media. I want to ask you, over the last 4 years, what has changed internationally for the better?
Well, many things, and thank you for having me, by the way. President Trump and his administration were able to do what 8 years of the previous Obama-Biden administration were not able to do, and correct some of the actions taken by the Obama administration. For example, the Iran deal. That's actually a big deal. Withdrawing from the Iran deal opened the path, number one, to put a brake on the expansion of the Iranian regime in Iraq, in Syria, in Lebanon, supporting Hezbollah in Yemen, but also in bringing together an Arab coalition. Now, that Arab coalition was able to deliver 3 peace treaties, the Abraham Accords, one with the UAE and Israel, Bahrain and Israel, Sudan and Israel. Also the policy towards China, containing the Chinese expansion and trying to normalize it with an agreement that was about to be cut had COVID-19 not hit us. And of course, the border and our relationship with Latin America, excellent relationship now with Brazil, and of course, putting a lid on the Venezuelan regime activity. So these are only few items in a long list of achievements.
Yeah, I mean, the president had tremendous success with these peace deals in the Middle East, like you just said. I want to ask, though, I mean, let's assume for a second that Joe Biden pulls this thing out and becomes the next president. What happens to foreign policy in this country? I suspect it would change dramatically because President Trump did it so differently. What do you think will happen?
Look, in my book, I actually predict that there will be a change, a night and day change. I simply go back to the 8 years of the Obama-Biden administration's foreign policy and compare it with the 4 years of the Trump foreign policy. And here you got the results. Number one, I go back to that short list. Imagine that a Biden-Harris administration will go back to the Iran deal. So there will be an effort by his administration, and it's not a secret, his advisors already have spoken about it, to return to funding Iran along with the European countries and others. That would embolden the Iranian regime to go back to the old aggressive behavior that Trump put a stop to it, at least in Iraq and elsewhere. And of course, the peace treaty. The peace treaty will basically be slowed because a Biden policy would want to bring back the Palestinians who are allied with Iran, such as Hamas, and of course bring in Hezbollah to the mix, at least on the long run.
Are the bad actors of the world licking their lips at the possibility of a Joe Biden administration?
It's not even a secret, my friend. On social media and of course in satellite TV, you see that the Muslim Brotherhood, for example, who are prominent in the region for being radical, are almost celebrating. And the Iran regime, you know, they don't express that very clearly, but they say we would engage now the Biden administration, which they have not said really about the Trump administration.
Unreal. Dr. Walid Phares, thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.